up on OU Nightly, new information tonight on a murder-suicide that killed a family of 5. Plus, an Oklahoma senator speaks out on anti-Semitism on college campuses. And Gaylord College finally has a new dean, her message to Gaylord students. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Noah Mack. We begin tonight with an update to a heartbreaking story of an entire family murdered.
Detectives are now talking about what they know about the family and the situation inside of the home. OU Nightly's Kaylee Fan is live in the newsroom with the story.
Noah, Emily, just this morning, Oklahoma City police released new details saying the 5 people found dead, including the suspect, were killed in what they believe to be a murder-suicide. Police officers say the suspect was Jonathan Candy, who they say had a gun and killed his wife Lindsay Candy after an argument, and then killed his three of his children, 18-year-old Dylan, 14-year-old Ethan, and 12-year-old Lucas, before turning the gun on himself. Investigators say a 4th child, 10 years old, whose name has not been released, was inside the home at the time of the murders, but was left unharmed. Officers say he woke up, found his family dead, and called 911.
Make no mistake about it, what happened in that residence was nothing short of a massacre. Those children were hunted down and killed after the woman was killed. Most horrible for the young man who woke up and found the carnage in that home.
Police say there are a lot of unanswered questions in this case right now. Other than a reported argument, they have no other motive, and they do not know why the 10-year-old is the only survivor. He is currently in the custody of other family members. They are asking that anyone with information to call the homicide tip line on your screen. We will keep you updated as the story develops. Reporting from the newsroom, Kaylee Fan, OU Nightly.
Well, thank you so much, Kaylee, for the update. And there's new information in the case against Larry Nassar, the USA Gymnastics doctor who is serving decades in prison for sexually assaulting members of the USA Women's Gymnastics team, including one woman from here at OU. Today, the U.S. Justice Department agrees to the $138.7 million settlement over the FBI's mishandling of reports filed against him. Nassar worked at Michigan State University and also served as a team doctor at Indianapolis-based USA Gymnastics. Many women from both USA Gymnastics and Michigan State University spoke up against Nassar, including former OU gymnast Maggie Nichols. Nichols was one of the first to report Nassar to USA Gymnastics in 2015. USA Gymnastics and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee also made a $380 million settlement.
And another big story we are watching, several threats for severe weather later this week. Let's get a first look at the forecast with OU Nightly meteorologist Coy Taylor. Coy, what do you have?
Noah, we are watching those threats, but all clear for the next 12 hours. We're not expecting any severe weather overnight tonight. We have a mix of sun and clouds from our Weather Center camera powered by the Weather Channel as we look off towards the northwest here in Norman. You can see we're really starting to green up as we head into late April, and that's when we kind of expect severe weather season to ramp up as well. 76 right now. Again, a mix of sun and clouds. It does feel like 79 when you factor in the light wind out there and or dew point. And here's water vapor imagery over the last few hours. You can see those clouds starting to move into the region, but if we take more of a national view, that spin off the coast of California, that's what we're watching, our next storm system, this spin right here. It arrives Thursday. What that means for your weekend plans, and as we end the week, I'll walk you through it in my full forecast.
Thank you, Coy. And big news here at Gaylord College. The university announced today Gaylord will have a new dean arriving in July. Dr. Andrea Miller currently serves as dean and a professor at the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas. In a statement to OU Nightly, she says she is honored to be the next leader of Gaylord College and that she is eager to get to Norman and get to work as the newest member of the OU family. Miller will be the first woman to serve as dean of Gaylord College since its founding in 2001. She will officially be appointed dean on July 15th.
Well, Starbucks heads to the Supreme Court arguing against the National Labor Relations Board. The High Court says this occurs after Starbucks fires 7 employees at their Memphis branch. The federal agency is charged with protecting workers' rights, and Starbucks wants the court to stop the NLRB from standing behind activist unions. The case specifically deals with whether the agency has the power to get employees who were wrongly fired for union activity immediately rehired. Starbucks argues the NLRB powers is not being applied uniformly across the country.
The Apple Retail Union announced on X a victory for union workers at the Apple store at Penn Square Mall in Oklahoma City. The NLRB approved a statement for unfair labor practice filed last year by Communications Workers of America against Apple. The CWA filed the suit after Apple terminated its COVID-19 sick leave policy without negotiating with the union. The union says the settlement ensures a voice in workers' health concerns and restores sick leave. Apple has agreed to compensate workers for time used for COVID-19 from August 1st, 2023 till now.
And Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma is co-sponsoring a bill that would clarify the definition of anti-Semitism on college campuses. The bill would mandate the Department of Education to adopt the specific definition laid out by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. I spoke to Senator Lankford this afternoon about his hopes for the legislation.
This should create dialogue and conversations outside of classes and in classes about how do we deal with anti-Semitism? What does that look like? What's the difference between disagreeing with the decision of the government of Israel and disagreeing with all Jews everywhere?
This is a bipartisan bill introduced by Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina and Democratic Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania.
Prosecutors have started arguing their case in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. OU Nightly Brooke Griggs has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
A second day of testimony has just wrapped in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. The court heard from David Pecker, a former tabloid executive who prosecutors say helped kill negative stories about Trump. Earlier, prosecutors requested that Trump be held in contempt of court and fined for violating his gag order. Trump told reporters his gag order is unconstitutional and, quote, the case is a sham. Protests in support of Palestine have erupted all over college campuses in the U.S., now including Columbia, NYU, MIT, and UC Berkeley. Columbia officials have switched to hybrid learning for the rest of the semester. Dozens of student protesters were also arrested at NYU, Yale, and the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. The U.S. Senate is voting today to push forward the $95 billion aid package. The aid package is expected to clear the Senate in a final vote this evening. It can then be signed into law by President Biden, who has said he will do so immediately. This decision makes a nationwide TikTok ban even more of a possibility. If TikTok is banned in the U.S., it won't take place until after the 2024 election. And Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich will stay jailed in Russia on espionage charges until at least June 30th, after a court rejected his appeal against detention. Emily, Noah, back to you.
Well, thanks, Brooke. And coming up, a unique pup is searching for a forever home. Find your future best friend in this week's Pet of the Week.
Plus, how a popular dating app is prioritizing safety for users. Learn about the new updates up next.
My baby's back from the West Coast.
Here are those pictures that you asked for your school project? First day of school, cute as a button.
So long ago.
Oh, here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Ah, those beans smell heavenly.
Give Mom a little credit.
You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year.
Oh,
Great idea.
At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm coming to share with you guys.
Protect your legacy. Plan for natural disasters today. Visit ready.gov/plan.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
It is springtime here in Oklahoma. Of course, that means severe weather.
This is definitely not something to take lightly into this afternoon and evening.
Some stronger tornadoes, anywhere between EF2 to EF5 intensity. Now is the time to prepare
for a tornado or a severe thunderstorm to really produce some destruction.
Has been added to the adoption list at Norman Animal Welfare, and OU Nightly's Abigail Franklin has all the details in this week's Pet of the Week.
Norman Animal Welfare has shown us plenty of animals that are up for adoption, but this week you'll have to look to the sky to meet our new furry friend.
Meet Comet, a corgi mix with a need for speed.
So he came in a few weeks ago. He was really injured on his right leg, and our vet staff went ahead and did an amputation. So he is healing from that.
But don't let his 3 legs stop you, because Comet is full of life and energy.
He's friendly, he is social. He still needs to learn some manners. We've had him meet other dogs, and he's super playful with them.
With many years ahead, he can fit right in to any home.
He is just so social and friendly. I think he could do well in any type of home, a single person home or a family. Dogs, no dogs. He can entertain himself.
No. While Comet is down a leg, it's not stopping him from entering the race to his new home. But if you're interested in adopting him, you'll have to reach out to Norman Animal Welfare tomorrow, as he's still getting his finishing touches before meeting his new owners. Reporting for OU Nightly, I'm Abigail Franklin.
And Comet is our last Pet of the Week to feature, but we have a good track record. Each Furry Friend showcase this semester has been adopted. Help us keep this record by adopting Comet. You can see the adoption information on your screen.
The popular dating app Tinder now allows users to share date plans with family and friends. The feature is called Share My Date, and features will include the date, time, and location of the meeting, as well as the match's picture. Users can also edit the information in case there's a last-minute change. The feature will be rolled out to the U.S. and over a dozen other countries in the coming months. It's safe to say Tinder is swiping right on safety. And still to come, the university is hosting Green Week activities on campus.
We've got the details on how you can take part right after the break.
And Noah and Emily, we are watching for the allergy report. It's high. I know I felt it this morning when I woke up, but we're tracking rain that could wash out the pollen. I'll time it out. That's right after this.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here's a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Cornstarch chocolate dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
All right, Oklahoma, buckle up here over the next couple of minutes. We'll walk you through a complicated multi-day severe weather threat as we head through the next couple of days, and it starts tomorrow morning. We have the threat of large hail and damaging winds across the area. So here's our severe weather outlook. We're under a marginal risk for much of central and western Oklahoma, even down into parts of North Texas. Again, like I mentioned, hail going to be the primary threat as we're going to see the storms roll in through the morning hours. So we will walk through FutureScan with you. So we pick it up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We'll have clouds increase as we head overnight tonight. A few showers in south central Oklahoma as we pick it up tomorrow at 6 a.m. As this progresses, you can see the showers develop right along the I-40 corridor here in central Oklahoma towards the 9 a.m. hour. We have a little splashes of red in there that could be indicative of some hail possible, again, up to maybe quarter, $half size hail as we head throughout the morning hours of tomorrow. Those transition into southeast Oklahoma. We hang on to the clouds, maybe a scattered shower by OU nightly time tomorrow at 4:30, and then the clouds would be hang around as we head late Wednesday. Then we move into Thursday. That's when we kind of uptick our severe weather threat. We've been added to would be enhanced risk out in western Oklahoma and parts of the Texas Panhandle and southwest Kansas. Here in central Oklahoma, though, we're under a level 2 slight risk. All modes of severe weather are possible. Damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes cannot be ruled out. We'll be watching that threat as we head here over the next couple of days. So you'll want to be sure that this is not the last forecast that you receive as we head through Saturday. So between now and Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, we have that threat of severe weather. All modes of severe weather are possible, especially as we head Thursday, Friday into Saturday. Tomorrow, just large hail and damaging winds. We will also see rounds of heavy rain across the area, so we could see some flooding possible. I know Norman doesn't drain very well, so that could be a risk that we're watching as we head here over the next couple of days. And then we need to stay weather aware. So check back tomorrow with Josh Duncan in the weather team, and we'll have the full forecast of what we can expect going into Thursday. Here tonight, though, we're expecting about 57 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Those clouds going to increase overnight tonight. That morning round of storms moves in. We hit to 70 by tomorrow afternoon. 60% chance of rain. Again, mainly along the I-34 or I-35 corridor and I-40 corridors in the metro, and that transitions into southeast Oklahoma. Here's our 7-day forecast. So we'll see a round of storms mainly in the morning on your Wednesday. By Thursday, we're expecting more afternoon and evening storms to roll into the area. And then, like I mentioned, Friday and Saturday, we have the severe weather threat. So let's look at that threat on Friday. It looks like the I-35 corridor and points east have that risk of severe weather, even into parts of Missouri and Kansas. 84 our high temperature on Friday. And then the rest of your 7-day forecast right there near Saturday, 80 degrees. We continue 80 into Sunday. And then as we go through the rest of the week there, we are watching for the potential of less active weather as we head Monday into Tuesday. So you need to be weather aware, be watchful of the skies as we head here over the next couple of days.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Coy. We definitely will keep an eye on it. Now, OU Green Week is hosting events through Friday to continue to raise awareness for sustainability following yesterday's Earth Day celebration. These events include an open mic night at Second Wind Coffee Up on Campus Corner and a farmers market in the Union. OU Green Week representatives say all these events aim to build on the environmental awareness that they say many people in college already have.
We want people to be excited about living more sustainable lives. And so I hope that everyone who walks away from our events can, take something with them that keeps them thinking about the earth, keeps them thinking about how they can contribute to the larger mission of being more sustainable.
To find out more, visit the OU Green Week Instagram page for details. And OU baseball is back in Norman for a midweek game tonight.
Kaylee Jo Hummel has more on the matchup next in sports.
And some Sooner squads are scoring big on some new additions. Coming up next, I'll have the newest transfers to soon suit up in the Crimson and Cream.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hello, I'm Kaylee Jo Hummel, and it's time for sports. All aboard the transfer train, it's full steam ahead with a final stop, Norman. One passenger, Jermaine Lowell, announced his commitment to OU today on social media. The defensive lineman from Louisville weighs in at 310 pounds and totals 141 tackles through his career so far. The commitment marks a fresh face to a room Brent Venables is hopeful of after Team 130's debut in the spring game.
Grayson has made tremendous improvement. PJ and R. Mason, those guys have really gotten better. Ethan is a better player right now than what he was to finish the season. Had a really good all-conference type of season, and then we got some really good young guys that we feel really good about.
Rocking and rolling to another transfer, Kobe Elvis commits to OU men's basketball today. The guard from Dayton tells On3 Sports he'll join Porter Mosier's squad. Sooner fans can hope this Elvis will be a king of the court, averaging 9.4 points and 3.5 assists this past season for the Flyers. OU baseball returns to the Diamond in Norman, facing Wichita State tonight. Now, it's no shock the Sooners are on fire. They enter riding a 7-game win streak. Oklahoma meets the Shockers for the third and final time this season and have already won the season series 2-0. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. Kirsten Deal is proving she's a big deal. The Big 12 thinks so, at least. The conference announced the sophomore as its pitcher of the week. Deal had a lights-out week, firing her first collegiate no-hitter and matching her career best of 10 strikeouts in a game. OU women's gymnastics may have not made it to the finals, but one squad member is still a finalist, a Honda Sport Award finalist to be exact. Today, the Collegiate Women's Sports Award announced Jordan Bowers as a contender for the prestigious award. The Big 12 Men's Golf Championship swings into its second day, and the Sooners are sitting at second. As a team, Oklahoma has shot 2 under par, placing them 11 shots back of Texas. The Sooners tee up for one final round tomorrow. And finishing with a Sooner in the pros, the Western Conference Finals are heating up, but not for Austin Reeves and the Lakers. The shooting guard's 9 points were not enough in the 101-99 loss to the Nuggets. Jamal Murray's buzzer beater gives Denver the 2-0 lead in the series. Noah, Emily.
Well, thanks, Kaylee Jo. And coming up, the OKC Thunder are hosting a Thunder Up event for fans before each home game.
We'll tell you about how you can get into the Thunder spirit up next.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo? Donating to a pet's medical care can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
It is springtime here in Oklahoma. Of course, that means severe weather.
This is definitely not something to take lightly into this afternoon and evening.
Some stronger tornadoes, anywhere between EF2 to EF5 intensity. Now is the time to prepare
For a tornado or a severe thunderstorm to really produce some destruction.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
I'm Allison Greenberg at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Attorney General Gettner Drummond calls for the resignation of Secretary of Tourism Shelley Zumwalt. The AG says after an audit on OMES, Zumwalt inappropriately and potentially unlawfully used her position to approve millions of dollars in contracts to a software company. Zumwalt's husband is the vice president of the company. Emily, Noah.
Well, thanks, Allison. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in playoff season, and OKC is hosting a celebration at Scissortail Park for fans called Thunder Up in the park before each home game. The event starts 4 hours before tip-off and offers a fun way for fans to thunder up.
You'll find family-friendly activities, performances from the OKC Thunder entertainers, and you may even run into Rumble the Bison. We will give you all the inside look, all the fun tomorrow as OU Nightly reporter Stone Weber will be live from Scissortail Park.
Well, let's check in one last time with Coy Taylor. What do you have for us with the weather?
Emily, Noah, yeah, we are watching that here over the next couple of days, severe weather. One last look of your Campus Weather Authority 7-day forecast, 70 tomorrow, morning rounds of storms, be weather aware. Noah?
Well, thank you so much, Coy, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Noah Mack. Good night.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because it felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine.